Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm Aabir Lahiry. You're watching ABP Live Podcast. Joining me today in conversation is the Racket Boy, Philip George. How are you?
Hello, fine. How are you?
I am absolutely great. Racket Boy, it's a how do you say? It's a memoir of your life, all the journeys you have taken, and living like a nomad these days.
Absolutely.
What made you write this book, firstly?
A professor friend of mine in England has seen me run around the world. He thought I should get it down in paper.
Okay.
In 1999.
Wow.
So I procrastinated until COVID came along, 2020 or something. And then I thought, don't waste a good crisis.
True.
Took upon writing, and I contacted Geetha, my writer, and then we set upon the book. As to why I wrote the book, why do people write books?
I don't know. Everybody has their own set of reasons, I guess.
Some are for ego purposes.
True.
Image.
Yeah.
I think mine is a combination of everything.
Okay.
And I wanted to share the color because it stretches over 3 continents.
Okay.
Asia, England, which is not a continent, but it's a country, and Europe.
Okay.
So there's the travel of an Asian Indian boy from Kerala but born in Malaya, transversing those 3 places and assimilating in every one of them and doing well socially. Academically, I don't know, but socially.
Thanks for being modest. How did life start? Where did life start? Tell us about that.
In Malaya,
Okay.
where I was born
Okay.
in 1952.
Okay.
My parents are from Kerala.
Okay.
They were economic migrants like most Indians are. And they went to Malaya, which was called Malaya then, in the 30s.
Okay.
And then my father and mother got married there. They're both from central Kerala.
Okay.
And
Which city?
near Kottayam,
Okay.
or south of Kottayam.
Got it.
And I was born in Malaya, and then spent up to age of 18 in colonial Malaya
Okay.
and into the English psyche of music, literature, thinking, sophistication, and I wanted that. And Malaysia was a multicultural country of Chinese, Malays, Indians, living very well together.
True.
And sport was very important, and badminton was very important in Malaya. We were the world champions in the 40s, 50s.
The team is still very good.
Yeah. But other countries have caught on. But the brand, Malaya had 3 things: tin, rubber, and badminton was the brand. So I utilized the brand and escaped to England because my father wanted me to be a studious academic,
Okay.
and we had lots of clashes. So, and that was my lifeline.
So you went to London, England for studies?
No, because I didn't get good grades
Okay.
at O levels in Malaya at the age of 17. So my parents couldn't afford to send me for studying to England then. Plus I wasn't clever enough. Like most Indians, went to study, came back. You know, we're talking 60s, 70s now.
Yes.
And so I went as a mental nurse in a mental hospital. So they paid me as well and gave me accommodation, albeit very small. And that was the start. Washing people's backside, giving them shock therapy in a mental asylum. From there, I became a banker. And then I had some immigration problems. Sorry, I've jumped your question. You asked about Malaya, yeah?
No, how do you go
I can
into...
carry on, can I?
Yeah, please.
And then I became a banker, and on the strength of my badminton,
Oh.
because the badminton opened a lot of doors, because I got into the inner sanctum of English middle class. So it's like getting into the Brahmins class of person. in England, not available to normal Indians.
True.
So I was already in because of my badminton, because I was so good. And the badminton got me into banking. So the boss who interviewed me didn't check all the papers. He just employed me.
Because you were damn good in badminton.
You know, and immigration was a new thing to him.
Okay.
Because all people he employed was white guys. I'm the only brown guy in where I lived in England, north of England, north of Manchester in the Lake District. So he just assumed it'll be okay. And then I wrote to the Home Office to renew my work permit. After every year you have to renew it. And I said, I'm very happy now, I've left nursing, I've gone into banking, please renew my work permit. And they came on me like a ton of bricks and wanted to deport me in 30 days because I broke my conditions of entry.
True.
So the bank fought for me for a year, employed lawyers in London, but you know, there was no defense. So my friends at badminton jumped in and helped me solve it by becoming a student.
Okay.
So at that stage, I went to do A-level law at night school while working as a stevedore in a harbour. Stevedore is somebody who unloads boats, big cranes and things.
Yes.
And then I worked in a bookie's office, shop, taking bets on horses.
Wow.
And then I was a nightclub barman. So I had 3 jobs and playing badminton.
That's a full-time gig.
Well, that was my hobby, but I had commitments, yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
I was playing 5 days a week, 3-4 hours, you know. So the energy I had was incredible. So when the banking problem was resolved, they wanted to employ me back and send me to New York to be a merchant banker. You know, I would have been pretty high up now. But people who I met through badminton said, don't go to London, stay here, and you become a lawyer. So I said, how do you become a lawyer? Stupid question, eh? And he said, you go to university. But my grades are not good enough. So I went to night school and got 3 A-levels, and I got very good grades. And on the strength of that, I became a mature student, meaning 24 years of age. Most of the kids who went there were 19, 20. I already had a complex about I was the only colored person.
Oh, plus aged.
You know, plus I didn't know how to study. I studied in a rote fashion, A is B. You know, at university you have to think out of the box. So I didn't know how to articulate it. So I had a problem here. So, but it was a nice problem,
Okay.
because people were very kind. So unlike the East, where the teachers put you down, your parents put you down, your friends put you down, not badly,
Yeah.
there's a reason for it.
Yeah, agreed.
It's no problem. In the West, they lift you. Hey, it's okay, don't worry. So suddenly I'm feeling really good to how I felt in Malaya. So the transition. So I was on my element, I was moving up and up, because my discipline through sport was incredible.
Okay.
Resilience, positivity, work hard, training, It's harder to be a sportsman than an academic.
That's true.
So I brought everything I learned in sport into my law. And suddenly I'm doing really well in law. You know, and everybody, all my clients, because of my bedside manners, which is, how do you learn that through sport?
Yeah.
Interacting. I was hitchhiking all over Europe, playing badminton. So the skills you learn, talking to strangers.
So many cultures, so many languages, exposure, right? Exposure to so many cultures, so many language,
Food.
so many food, vivid
That's-
variety of foods.
Films, you know, Italian films, French films. I didn't know Italian, I don't know French. But you have the imagination, So I watched Last Tango in Paris with Marlon Brando. I don't understand it, but it takes you out of your comfort zone, yeah?
True.
So you're growing. I was only 25, 26, 27, and then I got all the adulation of females, white women chasing me. Cool, eh?
I think so.
Because of badminton, yeah? Because I played like Roger Federer. Poetry in motion, style. So the two things, and they like somebody who's got adventure. Girls like, I didn't go and do that for that reason, yeah?
Of course.
That was a byproduct. It just happens. And you're gonna roll. You're gonna roll. Then I become the top lawyer. I become president of the Law Society. On a roll. And then I get fed up with England because I learn history. History is written by winners. White man writes it. So I'm learning things, don't like it. So I'm fighting my friends in language here. Dinner parties, we're arguing. So my mind is now going east. But I can't come to Malaya because there's no way I can assimilate there because it's become xenophobic Malay to the Malay, like the BJP syndrome over there. India is not my country. I was born in. Even though my DNA is here, it's absolute chaos here, yeah? My brain is anglicized. So the middle ground is Italy.
Okay.
Marco Polo,
Okay.
half and half. So it's half east, half west. So I end up there. I buy an old building which has no roof, unoccupied for maybe 100 years.
100 years?
It's a 500-year-old building. Goats and sheep and stuff lived in with a farmer. And he fell into disrepair, yeah?
And it's in the woods?
In a small village.
Okay.
So I restored it using an architect who I liked from Milan, who went to the Biennale in Venice, stylish, resin floor, underfloor heating. I don't know anything about building, but I learned with him because I'm the boss, I'm paying him. And then I have a consulting engineer, how to bend so I'm learning about building. So I'm psyched into the building and I created my own house in Tuscany.
Interesting.
So you see that journey of chaos. So I can't sit still. Then comes the book. Can't sit still. I'm 72 years of age.
What's the next plan?
Don't know, no idea.
But you can't sit still.
No.
There must be some plan in mind.
Yeah, might write another book. Maybe.
What's that going to be about?
The Pilgrim Fathers and the Puritans. The start of Anglican, Church of England breaking away from Catholic, from the Pope, and England becoming Church of England country, Protestant, during the time of Henry VIII,
Okay.
Elizabeth I, and the golden era of England, the East India Trading Company, India falling. The Maharajas made it easier for them. Same Malaya, things in China, America. So I'm bringing it all in together, leading up to Trump, to the 6th of January uprising, seen from the lens of a brown guy. Because those type of things are written by white guys.
Agreed.
So I'm
There
going
has to
to
be a
write
different
it.
perspective.
And I've got tremendous, because with being a lawyer as well, I've got so much data. And I play devil's advocate. I never listen to me. I listen, because when a client comes in, I don't listen to my client. I listen to the facts.
True.
So,
What do you think in all these journeys, in all these colors of life, what has been the biggest learning for you in all these years, starting from Malaya to Tuscany and Italy?
What people can do. It's if you are positive, it's surprising the wave just takes you. That's why I'm so surprised. I keep thinking it's all going to end. I'm thinking, how did I become a lawyer? You know, how did I have my house in? It's a big investment, you know, Tuscany. A lot of money in it. And how did it all happen? I don't know. I don't know how this book happened. I know there's some work in it. You know, there's some diligence, resilience, hard work. But how did it happen? Because you just go for it. Sports people again. You wake up in the morning, you go for a run, tie your shoelaces. You do it, yeah? And you roll, keep on the roll. So I think that's the biggest thing I've learned, is just keep on the roll. So I've just done Argentina with 3 months on my own, sleeping in a van. All over Argentina, 25,000 kilometers.
How was the experience there? How was the experience?
Wonderful. Just unbelievable. Just another level of... So it's like a Swami going to Sabrimala or whatever, on a walk from Tamil Nadu, yeah? It's no different to me doing it. I just had more luxury.
Sure.
So it depends on your interaction with that journey. So in answer to your question, it was very spiritual for me. Plus note-taking, you know, how much money I spent, the currency exchange, because lots of turmoil in Argentina with change of president.
A language barrier.
Spanish.
Yeah.
But that's never been a problem for me.
Oh.
Because, you know, with playing badminton all over the world.
Have your way.
Because then also it's English-based, and also the hands movement, and your face smiles. Surprising what you can achieve.
Agreed.
Okay, there's some bad guys, but generally you work your way through, you know.
What's the message to all those young budding kids who really want to live like a nomad, who want more and more experiences in their life, but do not have the avenues to pursue it?
Yeah, I was, you know, I've been doing this book launch, and I've devised this thing called left side, right side. The Indian kid is very good on the right-hand side, which is academia. So software engineering, medicine, law, accountancy, you name it. They're so academic. You only have to go around the bookshops. They're all wanting to learn like parrots. You know, they learn like parrots. And the application is not so wonderful, because the application has to come onto the left side. The left side is where education is. I've got all the education, I haven't got the right-hand side. So for the Indian kid, the young ones, I would like them to marry the two things. So all my stuff I've been doing, don't do crazy things like I did. Pick, choose.
Whatever makes you happy.
Correct. Films, poetry, writing, reading, cooking. So nothing, don't belittle it. Even if you're a road sweeper, I've got great admiration for road sweepers or post office delivery guy. You know, in the West, those people have great respect.
Right.
Because they're doing a job, yeah?
For the society.
Exactly. Maybe he's not, but the fact at least is clearing the rubbish. So my thing for the kids is just work on the left side, and you work on the right side. I don't want to interfere there. And then the two things. So when you go to the West, you're not tongue-tied as Philip George was in his early years, because you are holding the white man in reverence by the way we've been taught, the books we read, Shakespeare, you know, Jane Austen, Charles Dickens, the history as well. The same thing is applied to me. Now I'm unclothing myself from all that slowly. But that doesn't mean I don't love England. I absolutely love it, you know, because it's given me great stuff. So I'm a citizen of all the places. But I've got the luxury of being able to do it, because I got economic freedom. So you need that first, yeah?
Agreed.
So, and also I'm single. So that's, you know, I can make selfish decisions, which is not available to most people. And if everybody lived like me, the world will collapse.
True.
So you've got to just pick and choose. Huh? So my message to the youngsters is read it, see what you think, and then have a dialogue with your friends. And when you're in some difficulty or whatever, or if you want to go out and do something, just do it. And there's a saying, there's only one of you.
True.
Isn't there? Keitha and I heard it in a radio by Brian Blessed, who was a larger-than-life radio commentator, an actor, marathon runner, Mount Everest climber. He's 75 years of age. Look at the variety he's got.
True.
And he's a bulky character. He's not exactly a sporty character, running marathons and going up up to Mount Everest without oxygen.
Wow.
It's another level, eh? So I lived with those type of giants of figures in acting. Not that I'm an actor, but I've seen Peter O'Toole, Richard Burton, I've seen John Lennon, I've seen Pink Floyd live, very close by, like I'm close, sometimes talk to them. So, I've transversed. I go to Formula One, I talk to Formula One drivers, because I put myself there, you see. If I can't get there, I find a way to get in.
Sounds interesting.
So that's basically it.
But how do you tackle the dark clouds? For a lot of people, they may have since you mentioned that you're not married, so you can take selfish decisions, you're financially independent now, so you can take these kind of decisions. For a young lad of maybe 23, 24 years of age who's not financially independent, who may not be married but do have some kind of obligations to his family or her family,
parents, extended families.
Especially if you're in India, family plays a very important role, and especially for the Indian culture and this particular diaspora. How do you bridge this particular gap and move out of your comfort zone and actually chase the dream you always wanted to have? Like just travel the world, experience more adventures, experience more vivid cultures. How do you do that?
In Italy, there's a word, or two words, called piano.
Piano. Okay.
Nice word.
Yeah.
Slowly. So he's 23 years of age, you just mentioned. So he's got to do the basics. So he's got to look after his health. It's number one. So to this day, every day I go 8 mile running, 8 kilometers running around Kolkata. I run every day, around the center. Not because I want to do it, it's because it gives me the endorphins. That's my building blocks.
That's your poison.
Yeah, exactly. That's good. That's my building blocks. So I do that. So for the young kid, he needs to do something outside. So he needs to find whatever. So if it's sport, or if he's avid in films, or if he's a good reader, but at the same time, make sure your health is looked after. So the exercise has got to be brought in a small way, not to my extremes, but in a small way. And then the other thing is the civics side to him. If he sees litter, pick it up, don't throw litter, just do his own thing to make him feel good. And when you're driving, don't go and overtake unnecessarily. Don't hoot your horn, because there's no way you're going to get there any faster than the other guy. So just have patience, piano, and just follow. So if you follow all that for 2 years, you'll be surprised how good you feel about yourself. Then the next thing will happen. Then you might want to travel somewhere because he might have gone up the company. He might be on a better salary. So depending on his financial circumstances, that might be the opening for him to do whatever. So it's a very subjective thing. So there's no formula. So if you want my formula, it's all about dream. So I dream of being the world champion at the age of 5, which I did. So then I create a hope. Hope I become. So the hope then becomes into application. The application is finding a badminton racket and doing the practice, the word consistently, reliability, and timekeeping, and diligence. Those 3 things is the middle ground. And then, once you've done that for 5 years, you've accumulated a lot of skill, or cricket or whatever you're playing, yeah? Because as a youngster, you're watching all your mentors. And then comes the meditation bit of learning how to lose. Because you can't win all the time.
True.
So you've got to have a friendly relationship with losing or failure. But then you work out why you lost that game. Because you couldn't handle the point, because you were going to get your 99 and you're going to get your century, and one ball before lunchtime,
You're out.
some English guy, because he creates that situation, he puts all the bowlers close to you and you get out. When you should have just relaxed and played his normal game, yeah? Because he was too cautious, so he gets out. So it's stuff like that. But if he gets out, doesn't matter. He won't like it. But next time he gets to 99, he understands. He's not worried about all those fielders crowding around him. There's 9 of them crowding like them. You see in the latest how they do that thing, yeah? So the fear factor of not scoring that 100 is no longer there. So his arms are free, so he'll stroke that ball for a 4 instead of playing for a 1, because he's free and the fear factor is taken out. So you put all that into the mix.
Okay.
I think that would help, that's the way I work. But I don't work it to any game plan.
Okay.
I just do it, And that's how I've lived.
I guess that's a very good life you have lived. I would crave for that kind of a life where you're just doing n number of different tasks, n number of different jobs, and I guess exposure to vivid variety of cultures,
Yeah.
food, languages,
Yeah.
songs,
songs.
and people.
And rock to opera. Yeah,
To
rock.
folk, to classical.
Yeah, folk to classic. Yeah, and cinema. You're able to transverse all sorts of things in your brain. Your brain then synthesizes with events.
True.
Wherever you travel. Even when I'm in India, I can synthesize with so many things. And the songs will bring something or whatever.
True.
And that's so, and it stops your mental illness as well, I think. I'm not a psychiatrist, yeah. Even though I did learn psychiatry.
Okay.
But I think it kind of aids that. And then you got your fitness, and then most kids will have a good job. If you're working in a place like this, they'll have a good salary. So you got economic freedom. And it's all about then being frugal with money. I'm very frugal with money. I'm very careful. So when I went to Argentina, I had a 10,000 US dollars budget. I came back with 6,000 pounds underspent.
Wow.
I enjoyed that, putting that back in my bank account.
Agreed.
I could have easily stayed in a 5-star hotel and all that, but I stayed in my van using public toilets. But through that, I got amazing
Experiences.
and I've written a book about that. It's coming out shortly.
Okay.
That's my second book. The third book is the one I talked about, the Puritans. And I wrote that book while I was driving. With
all the notes.
with all the notes, and then working with AI. And I control AI, yeah? I control AI. So I tell him, like sharpening the pencil, I say, I don't like that, change that, change that. So I did 65,000 words in 3 months.
Makes sense. Sounds very interesting. I'll wait for the next book to pop up.
Yeah, I'll send you one.
And
It's a coffee table book.
we'll again surely have a conversation around that.
Yeah, sure. Love to.
On that note, I guess very, very thank you for having this conversation with us. It was lovely to know all different experiences, from a mental nurse to a banker to a lawyer to
Bookies runner.
to a runner, and of course the Racket Boy. Thank you very much, Philip George, for having this conversation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.